What's up, guys? I'm back, and I got really inspired by this YouTuber called Pierre XO. Look him up. He's really cool, and I don't know, I just felt like watching his videos because they're always in depth. They're super deep, and he was basically talking about how it's sometimes hard being a creative person, and I can relate to it so much, and I just wanted to tell my side of the story, being a creative person that I've always been growing up. So let's just start from the beginning, like ever since I was little. When I was little, I was mostly in the hospital. Like when I was little, I'd say pre-K, kindergarten, elementary, not that much. But what I can remember is up to like third grade was when I kind of stopped getting so many surgeries. But personally, I feel that I was kind of isolated from children at a very important time of my life as a little kid, because once I got into like third grade, fourth grade, I became like an over-analyzer. From what I remember I used to just stare at the kids and my classmates, and they'll be like, "What are you doing staring at me?" And so then I'd kind of like not figure it out at the same time, and then they would get mad at me for just analyzing them. And the reason why I would overanalyze these kids is because I didn't have a lot of social interaction. The only time that I ever had social interaction was when I was at home, and I used to live in an apartment, and I used to like have my best friend that lived downstairs. And that was like really the only social interaction that I ever had was her and her little brother and little sister. That's it. So I feel like growing up in elementary school, I was like deprived from having social interactions. So that's when, being at home a lot made me just be curious about a lot of things. I was really into like magazines and cutting like celebrities and putting them on my walls. It was just about me and just being on my own. Also, I had a parent that really didn't let me like go over people's houses. I guess my mom was very overprotective, and it's not a bad thing. I really don't think it's a bad thing. I did have kids come over like in birthday parties and stuff like that, but I could just like, all I could remember was that I always felt deprived from social interaction. So that's how being creative grew. I remember being high school, I was super shy. I was scared to say certain things. I felt like in middle school I was bullied a lot. I did have friends in middle school, but I was very insecure about myself and how I walked and all this other shit, Then high school, I started getting depressed. It was just very dark then. And then I remember ninth grade, I had this English teacher, language arts teacher, who told me that, like she made us write poems about a certain situation, and she told me that I'm very talented and that I should keep writing. And I think that was the first time where someone told me that I was good at something in ninth grade. And before that, I remember hearing in fifth grade that I was a good speller. That's it. I never had anyone tell me that I was good at something. So that's why the whole poetry came, and I wrote a lot. 10th grade, 11th grade, I think I was still writing. I got inspired, and then when I was when I was like in 19, I was like 19, 20, started writing a lot of poetry, started writing songs, and I really thought that I was going somewhere with something. And then I took the poetry to MySpace, and that was when I really felt like I was being heard with my poetry. And then I did write a book, and then I got one comment by one person, and they told me I sucked, and I believed it, and I never did anything with it ever again. So it's just crazy how I've always been super sensitive my whole entire life. And then, in college I found out that I sucked in math and that I suffer from dyscalculia. If you don't know what that means, it's like the opposite of being dyslexic. Like, I'm dyslexic not with reading, I'm just dyslexic with numbers and formulas and stuff like that. So that's why I went to film school. And everything, like, all I can remember growing up was movies. That's something that me and my dad always related to. Let's go to Blockbuster, let's go watch the movies. And movies is something that always made me happy. And I never really overanalyzed movies. Maybe I did, but not intentionally. But I would rewatch movies over and over and over. Bruce Almighty, The Mask. I think The Mask is like the first movie that I was like, oh, that's my favorite movie. I was like 9 years old. And, so the whole point of this video is that, being as creative as I am, being a creative person also leads you to dark places in your life, because you want to be creative with other people. And it's always been so hard for me to find people that want to be as creative as I do. And I feel like when I did find these people, it was just people that just to make videos with me out of just convenience. It wasn't really because they were interested in making videos and videography. It was just they were just trying to get on my good side and, probably just date me or just even sleep with me or do whatever, so it, that happened like a few times in my life, and that sucks as a female. And that's why I really kind of just stopped doing short films and all that stuff. I remember there was one year while I was doing that, like the whole year when I was in film school, and everybody was interested in what I was doing, and I was just so motivated in doing that. But little by little, people just kept disappointing me into doing films and stuff. And I'm just the kind of person that like, I want to be successful, but I want to have like a group of friends to be successful with. I just never wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to share the success. But through time, the people that I knew that were into film and YouTube and stuff kind of moved away, and people started making their own family, having kids and stuff like that. So it was like, damn, that sucks. So what am I gonna do now? What's left? Of course you're just like, oh, you do it on your own. And I always kept making videos. Shit, look at me right now, I'm still making videos. I'm just analyzing the past and how it has gotten me here. And what I realize is that being a creative person is freaking amazing. It's fun. You could do so many things being creative, but at the same time, it kills you because you overthink a lot. You overthink about all the people in your life, and the people that you don't talk to, and the people that used you, and it just freaking sucks. you know, disappointment after disappointment. It just sucks. I'm very critical about people, and I've always been like that. People think like, I've had like people tell me, oh, you judge everyone. It's not that I judge them like physically, because that's what people think, that you're judging them based on how they look, but it's not even like that. You judge them, well, I'm talking about myself, I judge them based off their red flags, you know. So, you know, I can be such a loyal person, but, you know, like once you lie to me, that's it, it's over. I can't have people lie to me. It's just because it's like one big lie that counts, you know, because you let that slide, then they're gonna think that's okay, and they're gonna keep lying about shit. So, you know, even like, I'm not talking about relationships, I'm talking about friendships. I can't stand people that lie to me. I don't understand why someone would say, oh, I'm such a great best friend, I'm such a great person, you know, just bragging about how great of a person they are, and then the things that they don't like people doing to them, they do. I don't understand that shit. And the number one thing that I always do is ghost people. And yeah, I hear like, oh, ghosting is the worst thing you could ever do. But I think, honestly, I don't just ghost you for like something stupid. I'll ghost you for something like huge, for something messed up that you did. And that's what gets to me. And I'm very sensitive because I don't think people should lie to me, especially me. I'm freaking Joey. I'm Johanna. I think I'm cool as fuck. I'm not trying to brag here, but I just feel like I've always been that person where I'm such a great listener. You can ask anyone, and if you personally have known me, I'm such a great listener. I will listen to you. I will let you vent. I don't judge you. I'm such a great friend when it comes to listening. But then I always felt like that those same people that would vent to me, when it came to me, it wasn't the same thing. And that's what disappoints me most of the time. Like when it came to me, I was like rejected. Like, no, you shouldn't feel this way. It just wasn't the same. You know what I mean? And I always felt like I was honest to a lot of people, to a lot of best friends that I've had. And come to find out, they weren't honest with me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say any names. I'll just tell you stories about best friends that I had. So one best friend I had is a she. This was like 8 years ago. She lied to me. Okay. I'll tell you why she lied. She would cry her eyes out because she said she couldn't see her kids because they were far away. She was a divorced parent. She had 2 kids, and she would cry because she couldn't see her kids. She later got into a new relationship, where she made me think that she was gonna move in the same state that her kids were. She told me, it came out of her mouth, saying that she was going to the same state to get closer to her kids. Come to find out, she moved to a completely different state, and she didn't tell me. It was heard by her ex-husband. So I don't know why she would lie to me. It's like, you're better off just telling me the truth, and we would have still been friends. But from that lie, like, I don't know if she thought that I was gonna judge her for it, or, you know, or maybe she thought I was gonna make her feel guilty. But it would have been better just telling me the truth, right? That's what I think. So that's one. I had another best friend. It was kind of like an on and off. It's a him. We were great friends. It kind of just felt like we were pen pals, but through the phone. I stopped talking to him because he told me that he dated some chick for the past 6 months. 6 months, and he never mentioned her. And we're like best friends or good friends. Like, you don't have to like say we were best friends, because I don't think we were best friends. People that just see each other like twice every 6 months, that's not friends. But like best friends, I mean friends, all right, cool, whatever. But I don't know why this dude had to not necessarily lie, but keep that information away from me. I don't know if he thought that, you know, I was gonna give him shit about it or what, but at the end of the day, just be honest, and we would have still been friends. And that shit's weird. Let me think of another friend. I had another friend. I could name another friend. It's a she. She's the type of chick where, like, I'll be like, hey, we need to hang out soon, whatever. Oh, yeah, definitely. And then I'll be like, I'll let you know the next day off from work, and we'll have, like, lunch or dinner. No big deal. She was like, yeah, definitely. The day comes, and I'm like, hey, I'm off today. Want to have lunch or dinner? Nothing. Like, the whole day passes. The whole day passes and you don't answer. Why can't you just be like, oh, I'm busy, I have errands to do, maybe next week or something, and just like plan it. You can plan it yourself. No, nothing. So it's that kind of shit where I'm just like, why do you gotta do all that shit? Why do you have to do all that shit? This is what I don't like. Honesty, just be honest. If you're just honest, things would be just going smoothly in friendships. But I can't deal with that shit. I just can't. So, and then when people just don't tell me things, it just makes me feel like I'm not valued. That's the thing. And when you don't make a person that you say that is important to you valued, then, you know, then like I feel like the trust just goes away. Like, why can't you just trust me? Like, I feel like if you don't tell me the truth, you don't trust me enough to tell me the truth. And I can't have friendships like that. And that's me. And sometimes I'm like, am I just, you know, doing it wrong? Am I too sensitive? No, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel valued and respected and wanting to feel important, you know? You know what's a big factor about all of this is that from the lack of social interaction at a young age, it seems like as an adult, when I do end up relating a lot with a person and we become like really great friends and we like get along naturally, I just become attached to them. And then that makes things 10 times worse. So when I do become attached, then it becomes emotional. Like, I'm not saying as in like emotion as in like catching feelings, because it could be a guy or a girl. Like, it's just, you know, just you're basically just getting hurt out of just everything that they do, and it just sucks, really. That's why I think that me keeping friendships fucking sucks, man, because I get attached. I think being attached fucking sucks. And that's why I'm so freaking attached to my fiance, because we're two very great creative people and we have a lot in common in that sense. We like a lot of the same things, and I feel that once we do argue, it gets really, really intense and really get into it. But, you know, it's always something that we can always talk about. And what I like about my man is that he tells me how it is when it comes to me. Like, he knows how to analyze me, and he knows how to communicate that with me. And I've learned a lot from him when it comes to communication. And, you know, look at me, I'm like 32 years old. I think I'm doing a lot better than what I've been doing, you know, what I did the past 5 years. You know what I mean? That's what I think. You know, I always think about these people. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate anyone. I always think of these people. I will always love these people. You know, everyone has their flaws. Shit, I have my flaws. But everything would be so much better if you would just tell me the truth. And that's it. You know, that's all there is. And that's just what I wanted to talk about. I'm an over-analyzer about friendships. People hurt my feelings. I'm sensitive, man. And that's why, you know, that's why I am who I am. And, you know, I just don't get it. I think I'm a really good person, but I guess people are not used to good people. People don't want to be around good people for too long. What is the deal, man? So have you guys gone through some shit like that? Let me know. Comment. If you want to critique my life, go right ahead. Don't care. I'm used to negative comments. But yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, guys, by the way. I went to the park with my child and my mother, and it was fun. We had a good time. There's pictures on my Instagram page, so go check them out. Leave a comment. All good. Alright, guys, have a great weekend, and on to the next video. Bye, guys.